Hi, I'm Xellina. Today I wanted to talk about sharing how decluttering my house has been like therapy this year. And I'm going to take you around on a real quick tour of my home office slash former family room. And then I'll come back on camera and share some of the kind of key areas and kind of breakthroughs I've had with decluttering this year. So stay tuned, and here we go. Okay, I'm kind of going to start from the outside and kind of walk in. So over in this corner, if you see my video on toddler organizing, this set of drawers is going to be for my toddler's arts and crafts stuff, and I'm still going through clutter and need to find a home for some of these things. But these are their toys, and this big tub is some toys. And I want to clear this off and make this baker's rack for their books, but I don't have a place for those things yet. And then I've been avoiding, I need to clear out more space so I can start going through my scrapbooking supplies and getting rid of some stuff that I'm never going to use. So here's my room, and I'm going to show you my desk. I have this cart from the Container Store that I used to use as a lap desk. I used to use this to wheel over my recliner so I could work from my recliner. But now I just use it as a side table, and it's cluttered. And my desk is cluttered. And let me walk in and show you my vision board from, is it 2 years ago? So here, this is the main thing that I need to attack. I got one box that was all the clutter off my desk sorted yesterday. I still need to go buy a paper shredder, but I've made some pretty good progress. I've gotten some things I went through a bunch of my daughter's school papers and some of our old paperwork, and I'll share more about that in a sec. But this is just, so right now, all these boxes marked sort are boxes I have to go through. And then these are kind of my fresh sort. So we've been going through, and I've been finding a bunch of things I would consider keepsakes or things I'd want to go in a scrapbook. So they're going here. This has our more recent Disney stuff. So this is to call it out so I can find it. Because I think in March I'm going to do a series on scrapbooking. And I'm going to take you guys with me on the journey of scrapbooking my Disney vacation. And here in February, I want to start sharing some videos on my experience with our Disney vacation. And yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of documenting this also for my purposes because I really want to give up. I'm so over this. I just don't want to do this anymore. But okay, I'm going to stop here. Okay, so to kind of pick up where I dropped my thought is okay, so I'm kind of burnt out on decluttering. I feel like I've been doing this for 2 years, and just more, I feel like our stuff is breeding and multiplying, and I can't seem to get rid of enough stuff to keep a clean house. And so I'm going to share some personal breakthroughs that I've made since this year for myself, and kind of trying to figure out where that mindset glitch is in my head on why I can't keep my house the way I want it. Why can't I have a clean house? And I'm rambling. I'm so sorry. Okay, so in the past 2 years, I've been doing all this personal development work, trying to figure out how to go from being an employee and having to take jobs I don't like, that I'm unhappy working, and then having to do an hour-long commute and do all these things that are just not fulfilling. And how do I become a YouTuber? How do I become a content creator? How do I start making money from home. I'm seeing so many people with YouTube videos that they made $1 million. I don't necessarily need $1 million. I would really like $1 million. But really the goal is, how can I work from home? How can I share what I know to help people? And just how do I get stuck? And I've been so stuck, and it's funny, some of the self-talk, negative self-talk that, comes up, and it's just, a lot of it is around that I'm not worthy. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough to be a manager because I'll never see you that way. You just don't have that presence. And when you hear different things like that from different people over the years, there's two ways you could go. Is one, you could accept what they say, and two, you could fight to change that. But the problem I had is, I have all these skills, I have all these things, I can do the job. Why do I have to pretend to be somebody I'm not? So in my personal development journey of trying to learn how to have confidence, how to show up, how to do all these things, and try to figure out how to start a business and be able to start, adding income to my family, I feel like the clutter is a representation of all my mental blocks, all my baggage, all the things that are holding me back. So in the cleanup I've done this year, so last week I found a bunch of paperwork from a period of time when we were struggling financially. And it was really therapeutic in that I realized how far we've come, how bad it was, having to go back and try to remember who that person was. And it's nice to know I'm not her anymore. I don't have a poverty mindset anymore. So the other eye-opener to me was having to shift the belief from, I have to have a job to make money. And that was also something that came out of, I've been doing Tony Robbins' training this week, his free training, which is actually really good. So if you're seeing this while this video is new, I recommend going and watching the replays. Day one, I really felt a shift. Like, I always imagine that shift being like a click in your brain, but it was like somewhere else. It was like somewhere around here. So anyway, talked about, kind of it helping me to see when I changed my abundance mindset and the big leaps I made because of it. So it's like, now how do I apply that now to making an income online? So the other thing I wanted to share, so I'm going to try to keep it to just 2 points, and I'll share again about this next week. I think I'll just share weekly on how my declutter is going, so I don't give up and so that I keep going, because I want a clean house. I want that so bad. I want everything to have, a place for everything, and everything to have its place. But the other thing is, okay, there's 2 more things. One is going through my daughter's paperwork, and I saw some of the notes from teachers and some of the criticism, and I could see different times when school was very unpleasant for her and learning different things. And one of the things we want to do is we want to homeschool Joey and Evie. So they will go to Primrose until kindergarten, and after that we will bring them home to homeschool. And I still have to figure that out. So, but that's almost 2 years away, or a little over 2 years away, something like that. So, but the thing I'm learning there is I'm having to forgive myself where I felt like I failed Victoria, but also finding on the flip side, like this is the universe giving me a sign that this is really the right path for our family, and this is the things that we want for them. And so it's also kind of adding motivation to, you need to figure out how to start bringing in income, doing the work you want to do. And then the third thing is going through some of these old boxes and clearing out clutter. It's like I'm getting rid of old Christmas cards that at the time meant a lot to me, because at the time it meant someone took the time to give me a card, and it felt like I was being seen. And it was something that I didn't really have growing up because of just the way my mom was and the way my life was structured for most of my life because of her issues. But that's beside the point. But it's going through and giving myself permission to throw away things, to not hold on to things that don't really have a value. So like I found cards, and one card, it was for my grandma, and it was so nice, like feeling like hearing her voice. But she was getting on my case about sending pictures. And I'm like, oh, Grandma, I try to send pictures, and I'm just bad about it. But I'm like, it's kind of a weird conversation there with, almost hearing her in my head going, honey, it's okay. She knows I love her, and I know she loved me. And I still kept the card because it's her handwriting, but I can forgive myself for being flaky. Which leads me to kind of another point, and then I'll stop, was just one of the ways that I built confidence at work was I had a reputation for keeping my word. If, one of the things I always wanted to be is I wanted integrity to be a word that described me. And I find I always kind of flake in my personal life at different things, and it's because I get scared. And I was writing down what I want my core values to be for our company. And one of the words, I couldn't think of a different word, but the word that kept popping up was courage. And that's kind of how you build confidence. Because confidence is never going to come, you're never going to have true confidence by relying on outside feedback. It has to come from inside, and it has to be you keeping your word to yourself, doing things that are important to you, and having the courage to not do things you don't want to do, and to say so. So, I'll give an example. I wanted to send the pictures to my grandma. And one of the things, so looking back, one of the reasons why I was bad at it was I would forget. And then I would feel guilty about forgetting. And then I would feel ashamed. And then I would start avoiding it because of that guilt and shame. And the thing I would tell that Xellina is I would say, honey, it's okay. She's not mad at you. She still loves you. Send the pictures when you want to. Make a point. Make it a priority. Because the truth is, people do what's important to them. And we shouldn't let guilt and shame stop us from doing things that are important. So I'm going to close there. I just kind of sharing some of the therapy that I've been going through with decluttering. And thank you so much if you stayed and watched this long. And, I hope you liked the content. If there's anything that you liked or didn't like, or just an opinion, leave a comment so I know somebody watched this besides my husband. And, thank you. And please like and share. I really want to grow this channel and reach more people and, build a community. I'm not sure. I think I'm probably just going to be more personal development kind of things that help you get better and improve your life. So I'll see you next time.